They've sold more than 50 million records, take that Tones and I, and are the most successful duo in UK music history. Now, after the critically acclaimed albums Electric and Super, they're back with a new one. Their 14th studio album, Hotspot, has been called On Form and Fresh by people who do these things. And The Times calls it simply another great album. Well now. Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe are next, and to get us in the mood, their latest single from that new album. It's Monkey Business, Pet Shop Boys, and they join me now. Neil Tennant, hello.
Good morning.
Chris Lowe.
Hello.
There they are. Hotspot, the new album out now. And yeah, that's it. Done. So this is the third one you've done with Stuart Price.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's right.
And what makes that relationship special?
Well, he's great to work with. He's a lot of fun. He's very quick, very intelligent, very musical. He's a joy to be with, really. I'm going to miss working with. Well, maybe we'll do another one. Who knows?
Also, he knows what we're meant to sound like.
Oh, that's good. That is very good.
Because sometimes we forget, and then you come in and Stuart's made it sound like the Pet Shop Boys, which is good.
And we should say that huge congratulations in order, because Hotspot is the Radio 2 Album of the Week.
Bravo.
That's the level of excitement that provokes in artists.
No, it's very nice when you get an email saying Radio 2 Album of the Week.
Yay! And now, because you guys, it seems to me, you still produce proper albums. You feel like this was written as an album. What's your approach? How do you decide what the theme might be, or when it's finished? All of that.
Well, this album, we had an idea pretty much in advance, because we've owned an apartment in Berlin for 10 years.
All right.
And we have got a studio in it.
Oh, right, fine. It's a big apartment, I guess.
And it's a huge apartment. And
you're rich, okay, I understand.
And anyway, we go there to write. We have done for 10 years. And we thought with this album, it could be the Berlin album that sort of reflected what it's like being there a bit. And we got Stuart to come over to Berlin to record it in Hansa Studios, famous Berlin studio, where David Bowie and Iggy Pop and Depeche Mode people used to record. And then we record more songs we need, and then when we choose them, you kind of sculpt it into the finished album. And so yeah, we're calling it our Berlin album.
And when you listen to it, does it kind of remind you of experiences in Berlin, or just that city, or is it just another album?
No, it does. The first track is called A Will o' the Wisp, but it's about a guy sitting on the U-Bahn, the underground in Berlin, and he sees someone he used to have an affair with. And we went onto the underground and recorded the ambience and the whole thing. So you're sort of physically in Berlin on the first track.
Wow.
Yes.
And the video for Monkey Business is out. And Chris Lowe, you break out some moves in the video.
Yes, it wasn't my idea, was it?
It was. I'm afraid it was.
I always have these ideas and I regret it immediately. But I thought it would be fun going to one of those dance studios and getting the leggings out and becoming a dancer for a short time. I'm not very good at it, but I do the moves in time.
Well done.
But not with any real flair.
I've got to say, no one thought you would really do it,
including me, probably.
Is he really going to do it? Everyone was saying, is he really going to do it? And I said, don't say anything, just don't say anything. And it's fantastic. It's a great moment.
And on the tour, because we must mention the Dream World, the Greatest Hits tour live, will you be, when you do Monkey Business, will you be breaking out the same moves?
Oh God, no. I'll be a musician. I'll be reverting back to being a musician for that.
You'll just be behind the keyboard.
Well, we haven't got 40 dancers on the tour, sadly. So
you haven't?
No, sorry.
Oh,
no. Oh, I'm not going.
Well, I was promised 40 dancers. So we should say the Greatest Hits tour live. It hits the UK leg. Is it a world tour?
It will be a world tour. At the moment, it's European, or Europe and UK after January, whatever it is. And but it will turn into a world tour, yes.
Okay, so UK, you could see Pet Shop Boys May 28th in London, and then on to Manchester, Birmingham, Bournemouth, Cardiff, Newcastle, ending in Glasgow on June the 6th. We must also mention music with a K.
This is the show we wrote with Jonathan Harvey. In fact, we were on this show with Francis Barber talking about it last summer. And we took it to the Edinburgh Festival. And now it's coming to the Leicester Square Theatre in London.
The glamour, the excitement.
The sheer glamour of it. It's a one-woman show. And it's very, very funny. We wrote 6 songs for it. Francis Barber is so brilliant in it.
She's hilarious in it.
She is so funny. I said to Jonathan Harvey, actually, I said, God, your script is so good. And he said, it is, but it's not that good. She just makes every line funny. And it's apart from being funny, it's an acting masterclass, I think.
It really is. She's so full on in it.
Oh, God.
I went to see it in Edinburgh and loved it.
Thank you.
Yeah, a memorable night because I forgot my credit card. I dropped it out of my pocket.
And what happened?
Somebody found it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did they send it back to you?
No, they bought a house.
Oh.
No, they did.
That's how rich you are.
Yeah, I got it back. Yeah, they bought a really reasonable apartment in Berlin.
Yeah. It was quite reasonable then, actually. 10 years ago.
And is this the first greatest hit tour you've ever done?
It is. We always play, the core greatest hits. But we just thought with this one, what would it be like to play one hit after another?
I imagine very good.
So, come and find out. What we really want is the audience to sing along with the whole thing.
Oh, and how do you, I was saying, when you see these big shows, how do you rehearse them? Where do you rehearse them? Because you can't rehearse them in the hall.
Well, we did the Radio 2 Live in the Park.
Yes, Hyde Park, huge success.
In September. And it's one of those things you rehearse it in your rehearsal rooms. And actually, we did a surprise gig the night before in a little club in Great Portland Street. But then you don't rehearse during the day. So you have to go out onto the stage. And it always takes you by surprise with all these people there.
Yeah.
When we did Rock in Rio a few years ago, Rock in Rio's got something like 100,000 people watching you, and the stage is massive, and you've not even seen the stage, so they kind of push you out there, and it's you've got to make sure you relax, otherwise it would be very terrifying. And
the like with the visuals and stuff, do you ever see them on that scale before you go on?
No, I normally wait for the DVD to come out to see what the show looked like.
And Mark Farrow, he's been doing your visuals for quite a while now, hasn't he?
Since 1986, yes.
Oh, quite a while.
Yes.
Yeah, quite a while. And so, again, the album is beautiful. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And you're really over kind of those visual things. But does it get to a point where you kind of go, oh, Mark knows what he's doing. We don't need to look at this. We don't need to check it.
No.
Okay.
No, it's a collaborative thing.
Collaborative.
That's why it's such a long relationship. Because I know we have input into it. Sometimes they do the whole thing. It depends. And sometimes this sleeve, for better or for worse, was our idea.
Okay.
Because we wanted. It's got a very murky picture. If you haven't seen it,
it is very murky.
And there we are. It's a picture of us.
That is you.
Yes, that is us.
That's so sweet of you to bother.
It is. Yeah, and it's kind of a bit what the album sounds like. Moody, a bit moodier than normal.
You look like two headless corpse.
Lovely, nice. Were you outside when this picture was taken?
No, we're inside. It's photographed in an art gallery in a mirror or some sort of stainless steel that reflected you.
Merciful God. Now, because we've gone mad, ladies and gentlemen, there's a produced item. For the second part of this interview, I'll be playing a Pet Shop Boys True or False. You're going to love this, Chris. You're going to really just laugh along. You're going to really enjoy it. It's a bit of fun. And so don't cry. It'll be fine. Hotspot, the new album, is out now. The Greatest Hits live tour kicks off on May 28th, all around the country, June 6th. And music, the Billy Tricks story, returns to the Leicester Square Theatre from February the 5th until March the 1st. Neil and Chris will return with True or False after. Oh, now, do you want to tell us anything about a track from the new album? It's called I Don't Wanna. Anybody got anything to say?
I Don't Wanna. Well, when we were writing this in the studio, particularly with the chorus, I was pretending I was Madonna.
I can't imagine what that means.
Well, only vocally, to be honest, only vocally. I thought it was a very Madonna, old school Madonna melody, the chorus.
Okay, here it is. That was Madonna. No, it wasn't. It was Pet Shop Boys, I Don't Wanna, from their new album, Hotspot, which is out now. Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe are with me now. And here we go. This is it. Do we have a jingle for this? No, we don't have a jingle yet. It's not quite an item, but it's nearly an item. Pet Shop Boys, True or False? Okay, the jingle will go in there when we finish.
True
this.
or false?
Oh, excellent, very good. Yeah, put that on a loop. Yeah, we'll use that forever now.
True or false? You can double track it now.
Oh, next week this is going to go so well. Now apparently, oh yes. So the name. So I say that name. So I say Chris. True or false? Neil does a very good impression of Dame Julie Andrews.
Yes.
True. Is that true? It is.
Oh, should I have said true rather than yes?
Well, but given the item is called true or false. But I mean, listen.
I'll say true.
Why ask for the
I
moon?
don't really do good. It's just we once had a meeting in LA with Eminem's programmer about working on our album, and he was a very nice classical educated guy from Detroit. And we played him the demos, and we always said Eminem, and Chris said, "Oh, you just sound like Julie Andrews." We played those demos.
he wasn't impressed. Neil,
Yes.
Your 2020 Greatest Hits Tour was almost called Greatest Hats Tour. True or false?
False.
Okay. Okay. Chris, true or false? You appeared... Oh, actually, this is true. You appeared in the Australian TV soap Neighbours in 1995.
I did, but is the year correct?
I think it's 1994. You might find...
false.
Oh, dear.
False.
True or false? False.
Technically false.
Yeah.
Were you just a fan of Neighbours or just at a loose end one day?
Oh, no, loose end, really. I just thought it'd be fun to do it.
They do seem to let anybody... No offence. They do seem to let anybody rock up and be on that thing.
Who was the first, though?
Were you the first?
I was the first.
Oh.
Trendsetter.
Did you play yourself?
You're only allowed to play yourself because you've got to be an actor otherwise.
Oh, I see.
So I had to pretend that I was looking for a recording studio in Ramsey Street.
Of course.
It's on YouTube.
That could be the next album.
Yes.
Neil, true or false? A meteor struck your plane while flying from Chile to New Zealand.
True but false. We were flying from Chile to New Zealand, and we arrived. And the following morning, I was in the hotel having breakfast, and the headline on the Auckland Herald or something is 15 seconds from disaster. And the waitress walked past. She said, "Yeah, that's the plane you were on." And apparently, there was a little bit of turbulence at one point, but apparently the plane was very, very, very nearly hit by a meteorite, and that we would all have been killed. But we all, the fact of the matter is, slept through it.
Yes. It's a bit one of those stories where nothing happened.
That's kind of what I feel about it. I mean, you wouldn't have known if you hadn't been told.
Yeah. It's like those people who kind of go, and I was there last year.
Yeah.
And I was... Yeah, nothing happened. Chris, true or false? The sister of footballer Paul Gascoigne, Anna Marie, can be seen in the video for the song So Hard.
True.
It'd be weird if that was false. Quite random. Is she a friend or?
I don't know how she ended up in it.
It was shot in Newcastle, and she was in the Newcastle Theatre Company, I think it's called Live Theatre, and she is still an actress.
Oh, okay. Neil, true or false? The architect, Dame Zaha Mohammed Adid, designed a Pet Shop Boys tour.
She did, the nightlife tour in 1999, but I didn't know that was her middle name. She's normally just called Zaha Hadid.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
there you go.
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously she did it, but to get an architect to design a theatrical tour, it's not what they do. I would have thought it's a very technical job designing.
Well, it came about because they published a book of her designs. She'd never had a building built in Britain at that point. And I just imagined there were all these structures. I just imagined standing at the end of one with a wind machine and a long coat, and that's indeed what we did. But no, it was great because it was actually her first structure on British soil. And there's a ton of them now. And it was, but we brought in someone from the theatre to light it. But
Okay.
it was this sort of structure that moved around a bit. It looked very impressive.
Did you keep bits of it?
No, it's been chucked away now. We did. Well, actually, at the end of the day, it's just...
It's junk.
It's like all theatre sets. It doesn't really exist.
Yeah. Chris, true or false? You were going to call the actually album Jolly Sight.
I don't know the answer to that.
Yes, you do.
Were we?
And it was a sort of a joke. There's a chain of hotels in Italy. We're always in Italy doing promotion in the 80s called Hotel Jolly. And you said, I think we should call the album Jolly Sight. And I said, why? And you said, because it's a jolly sight better than the last one.
Oh, bravo again.
Oscar, you
Very
spoiled
good.
us. Yes.
It's the album of the week, everyone. Neil, true or false? When you were working at Smash Hits, you interviewed the Village People. I hope that's true.
It's false, I'm afraid.
Oh,
They were never in.
No?
I interviewed Divine. That was exciting.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he had "You Think You're a Man" out, which is, I'm looking at your producer here. It was
Asking that very question.
it was anyway. Yeah, no, but not Village People.
Chris, true or false? The singer Tiffany appears in the video for Heart.
False.
That can't be true, can it? No.
Neil, true or false? You had a record label called Pasta Records.
Called what record? Pasta.
Yeah.
No, spaghetti.
False. There we bring true or false to a close.
Yes.
We'll be back next week for more true and false fun.
True or false?
Let's just remind everybody, Hotspot, the new album is out now. You worked. Talk about promo. You worked for this.
We
worked
worked.
for this plug.
Yes.
The Dream World, the Greatest Hits tour, starts in London on May 28th and then goes around the country until June the 6th. The Billy Trick Story music is in the Leicester Square Theatre from February the 5th, and you can see them. Oh yes, at the NTAs next Tuesday at 7:30 on ITV.
Yes.
I'll be there. I'll see you
Having
then.
a rare ITV moment.
Yes.
I'm on Loose Women on Monday.
Wow.
Yes.
You are selling this album.
Absolutely.
It better go to number one. It better go to number
we'll
one.
see.
Pet Shop Boys, thank you so much for coming
Thank
to see
you.
us.
Thank you.